Hello, I'm Essie, the homeless woman. And I was sitting here thinking, I decided to make a short video, but I was sitting here thinking about how society is brainwashed. How a lot of us don't even have our own minds. Well, we have our own minds, but we don't use our own minds. We let the news tell us how to think. The government tell us how to think, and we don't use our own minds. They brainwash us, program us. And for the few people that do use their own minds, you have the mass putting them down, telling them they're crazy and all kinds of horrible things, or you have a mental problem, you know. So I was thinking about how our government brainwashed us to work for them, to work for rich, wealthy people. And I'm not saying that all people that have employees are rich and wealthy. I mean, common sense. I'm not saying all, because there's a few people that have a small business. There's some people that have a small business and they may have a couple of employees. They might have 10 employees. But I'm talking about, when I say rich and wealthy, I'm talking about like Amazon, Apple, Walmart, you know, companies like that. That are rich and wealthy, and they brainwash us, the mass, to work for them for pennies. Okay, pennies. You can barely survive off of that. And on top of that, not only do they brainwash us to work for them, but then they brainwash us to pay their high-ass rent. I honestly believe that some of these companies, banks and all that stuff, they have property. They have property that they rent out, and probably property that they sell. So then they make double money. They make money from us working for them to make them even richer. And then we turn around and pay those same people rent, mortgage. And so when you, as a human being, so I'm not like, when I first became homeless, it was not a choice. But when you do become homeless, sometimes you realize that, man, I don't want to work for these people, making these people richer, and then turn around and paying them rent. It's kind of like you're okay when not. You see life differently. You know what I'm saying? Like when I became homeless, this is really how I felt. I felt like all my life I was in a bubble. And when I became homeless, I felt like I was pushed out of that bubble. There is other ways to live besides paying rent to a wealthy person, paying mortgage to a wealthy people. There's other ways to live. And but they have brainwashed the masses to think that homeless people, first of all, they give us the title homeless, right? And then they brainwash the mass that have places to live to think that homeless people is addicted to drugs and are mentally ill. That's what they convince society. So you won't ever try to think that, oh, well, I'll just stop paying all this rent, stop working all these hours at this job, and just go live off the land. Maybe buy me a van and live in that. They try to shame you into not working all those hours for them and then paying them all that rent. That's what they're doing. They are shaming you. Keep working all these hours for me. Keep paying me all this rent. Because once you decide to stop, or maybe you get tired and you feel like you can't go anymore, then I'm going to slap this label on you that you are either on drugs or you are mentally ill. And they do it too with the police. Because I had a police officer to tell me one time that, and now they have been trained on this, that homeless people will get so desperate that they will commit a crime. So the police have been trained this way about homeless people, that we would get so desperate that we will commit a crime. So now you got the police helping the government, which they are the government anyway, making your life even harder, making your life even difficult, putting pressure on you to go and work for the rich and wealthy and then turn around and pay them rent too. So I was just sitting here thinking about that, how society is brainwashed to think that the vast majority of homeless is mentally ill or on drugs. They have been brainwashed to think that. They have been shamed so they can keep working hard, putting in all those days, paying all that rent, so those people can be even wealthier and wealthier and wealthier. It would be nice if we all used our own brains. You know what I'm saying? Like if we was not brainwashed, could not be brainwashed. I wonder how the world would be if everyone just stopped letting the news brainwash them. Stop letting the government brainwash them. I wonder how this world would be. I think it would be a nice, better place. Because to me, I believe that the news, the government, is just really an extension from Satan. I believe Satan uses the news and the government to put out bad things, negative things, brainwashing things that sure don't come from the Heavenly Father. But if we used our own minds, I believe that the Heavenly Father, we will listen to Him, because we won't be listening to Satan. And the world would be a much better place. So I just thought I'd share that with you. How we are brainwashed to work. And then I'd be thinking, like, 5 days. Out of 7 days, 5 days we have to work. That's a lot. That's a lot. You only get 2 days off? What is 2 days going to do? Really? I mean, then you got things that you have to do in your personal life. Like laundry. Other things, you know. You may have appointments you got to go to. And how can you do all that in 2 days? You may need to clean the house. I don't have to clean the house, but I got a van I got to clean. And I'm like, why can't it be work 3 days and off 4? It's slavery. It is slavery. So that's all I wanted to say. I was just sitting here thinking about that. So I was like, let me make a video. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.